have to cut that out. So, we are back in I Love My Baby J Slot.
We gotta do it again. We gotta do it again.
I'm gonna have to cut that out. So, we are back in I Love My Baby J Slot.
Today in my J spot, just I shouldn't have said it like that.
All up in your J
All
Slot.
up in my J spot. I want to talk about it's been in the news this week. Britney Spears and her conservatorship.
Okay, so what is a conservatorship?
Conservatorship is someone has control of your well-being. Someone is your guardian. You can be an adult. For some reason, you have been deemed unfit to manage your own personal life. Therefore, they appoint a guardian.
Almost as if you're a child.
Yes.
So when someone said they're your guardian, the same way you wouldn't, a child technically isn't in control of their bank account.
Yep.
Neither is
It's kind of like the same thing.
Okay.
Actually, when Britney Spears situation, it is exactly the same thing. You know, after she had that infamous breakdown in 2008, the court ruled that she needed a guardian. They placed her father as her guardian, and I believe I read that she has had some problems with her father, and she's not the only one. I mean, I can see if she was the only one. Okay, daughter saying this about her dad. Okay, but no. You know, her ex-husband also, for a long time, had a restraining order against him and didn't want him around her kids. So there's got to be a reason behind that. But, you know, the restrictions this girl has, she has to work and take jobs.
Yeah.
She has to. Like, she doesn't get a choice in not working or not doing something. No, she's got this great gig in Vegas where she has this residency or whatever. She puts on those shows. Now, she makes good money on these shows. But it's not like she can say, you know what, I'm not feeling it anymore. I want to quit. She can't say that. Nope. The guardian says you need to work this. This is the job you've taken. This is what I've booked for you. This is what you're going to do.
I know that's what she's saying, but I wonder why or how. Like, it's the same way, once again, and let's take it two ways. Some places is not super duper illegal for you to spank your kid. Your child. I don't know too many parents that's getting locked up for spanking their kid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they assume that, okay, you're the parent, you knows best, this is how you discipline your kid. I assume that this guy can't just go in and just spank Britney Spears.
Well, I mean,
although that would be kind of interesting if he could just go in and beat her ass like a kid. But that said, how else does he enforce it? Does it go into anything like that?
Well,
or just, it could be coercion, it could be threats, it could be pressure.
That's probably what it is. I mean,
it could be all kinds of things.
I mean, she's not allowed to at one point, at times, she wasn't allowed to carry her own credit card, her own phone, or her own passport without permission. I'm sorry. She's got absolutely no privacy. She gets $2,000 a week in allowance. She's not allowed to go anywhere without permission. She's not even allowed to remove her IUD, her birth control, from her arm. Now, that is where I have the most major problem. Now, this has been going on since 2008. The girl's 39 now. You know what I mean? I think that if this was a man, it probably wouldn't have happened. You know, there was an article in the Washington Post, and the writer said the same thing. I think if this was a man, there wouldn't have been a guardianship over him. He would have been allowed to run his life and then run his financial into the ground if he wanted to.
Yeah, but everybody agreed at the time. I ain't gonna say everybody. The consensus was at the time publicly that Britney Spears was unhinged, and that it was a good idea to have somebody step in for her. Me personally, I didn't follow it at the time, so I don't know if the father was the right person to do it. I always thought Britney Spears and her mom had a close relationship. I thought
so too, and her sister.
Yeah, I always thought Britney Spears and her sister had a close relationship, but for some reason, this guy was the one that was able to assume that position. But I always thought the consensus was that it was good that the position was to be filled. That it was a need to fill the position. You get what
And
I'm
that's the
saying?
thing. Again, I'm not a huge Britney Spears fan, so I don't follow her and her, her career, her struggles, as much as her fans do. So I don't know where it came into, like, she had a falling out with her ex-husband. Like in normal people's world, that would be handled through the divorce, through child custody, but in no way would her finances and her taking care of herself come into play when it came to a divorce. So I don't know the details of why there was a guardianship placed on her and on her finances. I don't understand that. A trust is set up for the children, so the children are going to be taken care of. I mean, the fact that she has to, she's got to ask permission to drive a car, go on vacation. She's restricted from all these things. But again, my biggest problem with all those things is her not being able to even be allowed to manage her own birth control. And that is a huge problem still in women's rights. Not only do we have the government trying to control us, but now we have guardianships where personally a man can just control what we can and cannot do.
Well, that could have easily been her mom. When you say some man,
But it's not. Today, it's her dad.
Yeah, but once again, I don't know why it was established that she needed a guardian, or why, in what cases would it be established that somebody. I'm assuming she was not of sound mind and body, or she was established as being not of sound mind.
I
and
suppose, yeah. I mean, I would love for someone to come out and actually
let's take Britney.
who followed this and tell me.
Let's take Britney Spears out of the case, just for a second. I assume that there's a reason for guardianship, otherwise it wouldn't exist.
Right.
And I'm assuming there's a legitimate reason that people can agree on that it does play a benefit.
Yeah.
I don't know. In fact, I don't even deal with estate planning, so I don't know if this is something that falls under that, and if it did, when is it best to exercise something like this? But, like take me, yeah, I probably would be the one to just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I could, like, elderly people get it all the time, don't they?
Yeah, elderly people get it when they have, when they have no one to take care of them and they need someone, to look over them.
It could have been the situation where, and at some point, either she would have had to agree to something. She had to agree to something at some point. But let's say she didn't. It could be a situation where they're saying, well, Britney Spears is no longer just a Britney Spears. Now she's a vehicle. She's an entity.
She is.
So we have to protect that, even though the head of Britney Spears Incorporated is a little crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? If Britney Spears was broke and her dad came home and felt like she lost her mind, he could commit her to somewhere.
Yeah, I think this all does go through a company.
You get what I'm saying? He could commit her to somewhere, but nobody would care because she's just some broke country girl and she's locked in a crazy nut house right now. But because she's Britney Spears and she has all these assets, and she has this machine that has to continue to be fed, I think that it goes bigger than it's supposed to be. Now, that said, I don't know why it's so hard to break.
I want to know the same thing. Like when there's got to be up until this time. You know what I mean?
Or I would just assume that there would be like
there's got to be ending at some point.
Even BDSM has a safe word,
right?
Like I should be able to just go call up some doctors and be like, "Hey guys, all right, I'm ready to pull up my medical stuff." And
be reevaluated, and that's it.
Let's go. Take the test. Let's do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be like pineapple.
And like you said, if not, then it expires after a certain time. So
it can't be continuous. Like, what if I wonder if like her father dies, if there's a successor.
I would exactly. And what if he disagrees with everything? He or she disagrees with everything that the father did.
Yeah, and so if that's in place, there's got to be something in place where she can somehow redeem herself at a certain point. And what could that point be if she's been okay for the last 13 years?
Because even though someone is a guardian, a minor could still go get birth control.
Oh yeah.
On their own.
Yeah.
I would imagine that there are certain things, as long as it's not evasive, that a minor can do, on their own. So even a minor still has certain rights and certain things.
Right.
As far as like once again, I would like to hear the counter argument in the sense of nobody, the dad might come out and be like, nobody even mentioned birth control. I didn't even know she was on fucking birth control.
Yeah.
I don't got a problem with her fucking. Why do I got a problem with birth control?
She's engaged now. I believe she's engaged, and she's 39. Although she says that she still wants to have another kid.
And she can.
Yeah.
But even at that point, like, how is she even allowed to be engaged, married? You know what I mean? Like,
She probably had to ask permission for all that.
but that's what I'm saying. I think more.
It's very controlling. Like, I can't imagine what it would be like to have somebody control every single part of my life.
I think a part of this also the public, everybody who's screaming, free Britney. Now everybody's under the blanket talking about let Britney live. Mm-hmm. But before,
Now I see that kid's point.
But before, everybody was on the outside laughing at Britney and laughing at that kid. Motherfuckers were feeding it into the whole is Britney bitch, shave your head and lose your mind. So at this point, I kind of I was on the outside looking in, so I didn't know if she had lost her mind or not. Kind of didn't care. But if she did, okay. Did they finish that process? And if not, then,
Exactly. I mean, at some
next?
point now, I think she's been battling this for several years now. She couldn't even pick her own attorney. Like, it had to be picked for her. And she's paying her father's legal bills.
But I don't even know how that works either. Like, that sounds a little dopey. Like,
It's probably, yeah.
I don't see how that, like, a kid can sue his parents.
Like, he's totally banking off of her.
A kid can sue their parents. A kid can do that all the time. So there has to be even something in which, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That a place where she can go for mediation that would then be like, okay, we ain't on your team, we ain't on your team.
Mm-hmm.
We getting to the bottom of this, especially being that there's so much money involved.
Right.
I think what this is Britney Spears and her team, and maybe even her dad, are kicking up dust so that they can bring this to an end fast as possible. You know what I mean? Meaning they're telling, I'm not saying none of this stuff didn't happen.
Yeah.
If she say he won't take out my birth control, I agree. I believe it. But I feel like all this is an issue now because the more you put out there, the less likely people are just going to want it over.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I know.
it's kind of like scorched earth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
I wish her luck, though, because I can't imagine what that could be like. So I'm definitely going to keep up with it and see how it turns out.
all right.
We gotta do it again. Hey guys, it's JMC here from TMC4JMC show. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe, down below.
If not, we're gonna kill you. Nah.
We're not.
Love my baby.